These are live pictures from Gaza, where Israeli forces continue to pound the region with airstrikes. This comes as President Biden gears up to leave for Israel later today. He's set to hold high-stakes meetings with leaders. Strikes targeting the towns in southern Gaza are reported to have killed at least 50 people. That's according to the Associated Press. Now, Israel had told civilians in northern Gaza to seek shelter in the south ahead of its expected ground offensive. At the Rafah crossing between Gaza and Egypt, truckloads of aid are waiting to be delivered as aid workers warn Gaza is near complete collapse. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has been working on ways to get humanitarian aid to civilians in Gaza.
Today, and at our request, the United States and Israel have agreed to develop a plan that will enable humanitarian aid from donor nations and multilateral organizations to reach civilians in Gaza, and them alone, including the possibility of creating areas to help keep civilians out of harm's way. It is critical that aid begin flowing into Gaza as soon as possible.
So joining us now with more on the situation there in Israel is CBS News foreign correspondent Ian Lee. So Ian, let's just start with kind of how things are right now over the last 12 hours or so, how things developed, and what is happening with the Rafah crossing.
Good morning, Amory. You know, things are really deteriorating in Gaza right now. There is just that lack of food and water and medical supplies. And what makes it painful for the Palestinians there is all of that is on the other side of the border in Egypt, in Rafah. They just need that border open so those supplies can get in to the Gaza Strip. Hospitals are running out of fuel to run generators. You can imagine just what kind of catastrophe that would be for them. The UN is warning that people could die. There are 300,000 patients in Gaza, and they desperately need these supplies to help them. But near Rafah, there have been airstrikes this morning, which just compounds the security situation for people who are trying to flee as well. There are hundreds of Americans in there. They want to get out. And so as we heard from Secretary Blinken, he said two things that are important. Get that aid in, but also creating safety zones. People just want to know where they can go in Gaza to remain safe. That's something that President Biden is expected to touch on when he visits Israel later.
So that is the situation in Gaza. Yesterday, Israel's defense minister spoke to Secretary Blinken about the war with Hamas. And I want to play some of that sound.
Well, let me tell you, Mr. Secretary, this will be a long war. The price will be high, but we are going to win for Israel, for the Jewish people, and for the values that both countries believe in.
Certainly, Israel, I don't know if it was you or somebody else said to me that all of Israel is on a war footing right now. No matter where you are, you've had some sort of connection with that terrorist attack that happened. What is the mood like in Israel?
It's completely different than I've ever experienced it, Amory, and I've been covering this story for over a decade now. There is a determination here. For me, it feels like the United States after the 9/11 terrorist attack. People are resolute on what they want to see happen. You know, in past wars that I've covered, there's always been this belief among the populace that they didn't want to see a high death toll among their soldiers. This time, it seems like the nation is ready to commit what is necessary to defeat Hamas, and that, as we heard from the Israeli official there, that it is going to be a long war. It's going to probably be a bloody war. In previous wars, they would call it cutting the grass, which is essentially striking Gaza, trying to hit not only Hamas's but Islamic Jihad's capabilities, especially going after this missiles. Well, this time it doesn't seem like they're just going to be cutting the grass. They're going to be ripping out the plant by the roots and sowing the soil with salt. They are determined to get rid of Hamas. It's not going to be easy, though. I can tell you Hamas has been preparing for this for years. They have an underground tunnel network that is reportedly hundreds of miles long. I've been in that tunnel network, and I can tell you it is well fortified. Again, this is going to be a long and bloody conflict, Amory.
All right, Ian, thank you very much. Meanwhile, clashes erupted again along the northern border between Lebanon and Israel earlier today. An anti-tank missile fired from Lebanon hit an Israeli town, injuring at least 3 people. No group in Lebanon has claimed responsibility for the attack, and this comes as Israel's military says it killed 4 people who tried to cross the northern border and plant an explosive device. Hamas released a video yesterday of a 21-year-old Israeli hostage being held in Gaza. The woman identifies herself as Mia Shem, a dual Israel-French citizen. She says that she was taken from a small city near the Gaza border where she had been attending a party. Today, Shem's mother spoke at a press conference where she said she screamed when she saw Mia and that she could see that she, quote, was saying what they're telling her to say. This as posters with photos of others believed to be abducted by Hamas are being shared in cities around the world. According to the New York Times, the initiative is part of a viral activism campaign created by 2 Israeli artists. Since there is no official public list of the missing, the artists rely on direct outreach from relatives and friends. Thousands of protesters in cities across the U.S. are calling for an end to Israel's assault on Gaza. In some protests, Jewish men and women are speaking out against the treatment of Palestinians in Gaza.
I have many relations who have family and friends in Israel, many people who have friends in Palestine, all of whom are in mourning and mourning the loss of life, and are terrified that the violence against Israelis is being used to justify a greater and even more horrifying violence.
Well, yesterday, a pro-Palestinian rally was held on the campus of UC Berkeley. Demonstrators were met with a pro-Israel counter-protest. Both sides remained peaceful.